Hello everyone, my name's Alex and I'm a physiotherapist from Physiofunction, and I'm going to be taking this level 1 different strokes exercise class today. So for those of you that are new here, level 1 classes are designed for people who may not have any movement in their affected arm or leg. It is a seated class, so there will be no standing at all in this class. Please be aware it is a requirement that you have somebody available to assist you with exercises as needed. So today we are still in our functional task series. So today we're going to be looking at exercises to help you with the task of moving forward and backward in your chair. So the class is going to be predominantly based around trunk and core movement and hip movement and the ability of you being able to move forward and move backwards in your chair, which can be quite difficult at times. We all know if we've been stuck in the back of a chair for a while, then trying to get forward can sometimes be a bit of a difficult feat. So these exercises are going to work on that, and they're also going to be really great for your trunk and core stability, so your strength in your postural muscles, as well as your sitting balance. So let's get started with our warm-up. Make sure you've got a drink nearby if you need one, okay? Please feel free to stop whenever and take a drink. Work at your own pace, pick something that challenges you, but then also is achievable as well, okay? We're going to be doing today in a circuit format. We're going to start with a warm-up as we usually do, and then specifically look at some exercises to start warming up our core, and then we're going to move into our main circuit before a short cool down. Right, so sit nice and tall in your chair. If you can, try and have your back away from the chair, or reduce how much pressure is going through your back. Sit nice and tall, so imagine someone's got a string pulling up through the top of your head, and really lengthen out your spine. Let's start with a nice big breath in and out here. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good. And let's do some nice big shoulder rolls backwards. Really thinking about getting those shoulders up, back, and down. Now with all of these exercises, if you have some movement in your affected side, try and use as much as you have or as much as you can. So join in with both sides. I will try and give you options for both if you have some movement or if you have no movement at all. Even if you don't have any movement, I will always ask that you think about the task and think about the exercise being done with your affected side. So still trying to strengthen and reinforce those pathways from your brain to your muscles. Lovely, that's it. Let's do one more big roll back here. Hands on your lap. Okay, I want you to think about sitting nice and tall now. Shoulders are back and down, long through the neck. Then slide your hands forward, round your back. You can drop your head if you choose. Again, slide those shoulders back, sit nice and tall. Big breath in here. Try and move with the breath. Out. As you round and drop your head. Big breath in as we come up. Shoulders back and down, and out as we round. Big breath in. Shoulders coming back and down, lengthening through the spine. And out as we round. Good, one more here, big breath in, nice and tall. And out. Lovely, and then find that nice neutral position. So let's have a work on trying to get those tummy muscles engaged. Try and sit so your feet are flat on the floor. If that's not possible through your chair, if you're in a wheelchair, and that is slightly raised, you could get a small box or something to pop underneath your feet. Anything so that you can get that nice 90 degrees at your knees and hips, feet are flat on the floor. Sit nice and tall. So if you have joined me the last few weeks, we've talked about engaging the diamond of your core. So if you are new here, what we were looking at is engaging these abdominal muscles to try and help support our back and our posture, which can help with our balance. And also, if we've got a strong core, it will allow us to move more efficiently with our arms and legs. So if you find your hip bone, okay, so that pointy bit at the front of your hip, and place the heel of your hand on that hip bone. Your thumb point up towards your tummy button, your fingers pointing down towards your pubic bone. Okay, if you have movement on both sides, you could put both hands here, and you can see that makes a diamond type shape on my lower tummy. Okay, if you're with one hand, we're just imagining the diamond on the other. I want you to think about all the tissues underneath your hand, and hands, if you've got one or two, but imagining the tissues underneath both hands, drawing together and then back. So feel that gentle tightening all across that lower tummy. So these are our deep tummy muscles that we want to learn to engage because they're really important for our postural control. Okay, so again, we're thinking about drawing them in and back. So you'll feel a gentle tightening underneath your hand. Doesn't want to be forceful, just gentle. Okay, you could always just pop your hand, once you've got the idea of the diamond, if you pop your hand in the middle so that you can feel the muscles on your affected side as well. And again, think about drawing them in away from your hand. Another thing I like to think of, or a way you can think about it, is if you're trying to put on an old pair of jeans that you haven't put on for a while. Or for a lot of us now, it could be putting on a pair of jeans that maybe we haven't put on since before the pandemic. We're trying to get these jeans back on again. So thinking about having, sometimes if they're a little bit snug, you're having to draw in that tummy to really get that button done up. Or a belt or whatever you think, anything that's a little bit tight and you want to get it on, so you're drawing in that lower tummy to try and get those jeans on again. Feel that gentle drawing away of your tummy from your hand and then relax. So we're just going to work here for a little while. So we're going to try and incorporate some breath. So nice big breath in. Breathe out and draw that hand in away. Draw in that lower tummy. Feel that engagement and connection to your core. And then relax. Again, breathe in to prepare. Breathe out. Draw that lower tummy in and away from your hand. Hold it there. You can breathe normally. Just try and keep that sense of engagement. And then relax. Okay. Big breath in again. Breathe out. Draw that tummy in and away. Feel those ribs wanting to knit down as well. Nice engagement of this whole abdominal area. Just gentle. Now you shouldn't be holding your breath or squeezing for dear life. Okay, just a gentle tightening of your tummy and then relax. Let's do one more here. Big breath in. Breathe out. Gently drawing in. So getting that idea of engagement of your tummy. So lower tummy engaged, ribs in and down. Let's add some movement of our shoulder blades now. So I want you to remember that feeling of gentle engagement. So it's not, you're not squeezing for dear life, you're just gently engaging those tummy muscles, drawing them in and back towards your spine. So again, sit nice and tall, gently drawing those tummies in. We want to think about now sliding our shoulder blades back and down. So here you want to pay really special attention that you're not sticking your chest out or sticking your ribs out. So we don't want to be here, okay? We want to be thinking about engaging that tummy, engaging that core, and just gently sliding your shoulders back and down. And then relax. So again, think you can always do it with your breath if you'd like to. So again, we're thinking about breathing in, breathing out, Tummy's gently tightening, shoulders draw back and down. We're staying really nice and long through our spine. Our ribs are knitted down, they're not popping up. And then relax. Good, and again, big breath in. And out. Shoulders back and down, tummy drawn in. Good. And relax. Good. And again, nice big breath in. And out, tummy in, shoulders back and down. If you'd like to, you can think about opening up our hands here. Feel that engagement through your back body, that nice strength through your core. And then relax. Let's do one more. Big breath in. And out. Shoulders are back and down, or hands could be here, thumbs out. Tummy drawn in. Feel that engagement through your shoulder blades, engagement through your core. Good. Okay. Next one, get our tummy bottom muscles engaged. So feet are flat on the floor. If you need to, sit a little bit forward in your chair if you can, or as well, back away from the chair if possible, or as little pressure as you can through the back of the chair. Bring your feet back underneath you just that little bit more, so they're just back behind your knees. This time, so again, we're always thinking about keeping that gentle engagement through our tummy. I want you to think about pushing your heels down into the ground and squeezing your bottom muscles. So feel that engagement through your back body, through your bottom, through your hamstrings, these muscles at the back of your thighs. And then relax. And again, think about pushing down through your heels, through both of them, squeezing your bottom muscles. Feel that engagement through your back body. And then relax. Good. And again, push down, squeeze, feel that engagement through your back body. Hold it there. And then relax. Okay, walk your feet forward just a little bit. So here it's important that you've got something on your feet that's grippy, so wearing some shoes. I want you to then think about this time as if you're trying to drag your feet back towards you, but they're not going to move. So feel that engagement through the backs of your thighs. Squeeze your bottom muscles and then relax. Good. And again, imagine you're trying to drag those heels back towards you, but they're not going to move. So feel that engagement of your hamstrings, of your glutes. Now, if you're having trouble doing this without your feet moving, you could ask your assistant if they could help stabilize your ankles, okay? And then you're gently trying to drag your feet back towards you. So feel that engagement through the backs of your hamstrings, squeeze your bottom muscles, and relax. Just make sure you don't do it so forcefully that you pull your bottom forward on the chair. So all we're looking for is a gentle activation of these muscles at the back of your thigh and your bottom. So let's go again. One more here. Let's think about squeezing our bottom, dragging those feet back towards us. Feel those glutes engage. We're really waking up our postural muscles here, our tummy, our glutes, and then relax. Wonderful. Okay. So let's have a little look then. We'll do one more. We're going to we'll warm up our trunk rotation, and then we're going to go into our circuit. So let's bring our hands to our right knee. Turn from your waist to look over your right shoulder. So feel that gentle rotation in your core. Back to the middle, hands to the left knee. Turn to look over your left shoulder. Now I really want you to try and turn from your tummy here, not pull yourself from your knee. So it doesn't matter how far you get, think about really using those tummy muscles to turn yourself to look behind. Feel that connection through your core. Back to the middle, hands on the right knee, turn to look over the right shoulder. Feel that really strong, deep connection to your tummy. Back to the middle, hands on the left knee, turn to look over the left shoulder. Sit nice and tall here. Feel that length through your spine. Okay, hands to the right knee, turn to look over the right shoulder. Really nice and strong through your tummy. Back to the middle, one more here, hands on the left knee, turn to look over the left shoulder, tummy drawn in. and back to the middle. Lovely. So grab yourself a drink if you need one. I'll talk through our circuit. So we're going to be doing a series of 4 exercises. Okay, we're going to work for a minute each time and then have a little rest. And we're going to try and get through that at least a couple of times. So the first exercise, so if we're looking at the task of shuffling forwards and back in the chair, to move forward and backward, what we want to be looking at is our ability to move our weight side to side and lift up our bottom so that we can shuffle forward, side, shuffle forward. So it's almost like a bottom walk forwards and back. That is the easiest way. That is the best way or easiest way to shuffle yourself forward whilst keeping your chest up, body upright. A lot of people tend to sort of use their arms, push themselves here and end up in this sort of reclined position, which can then be a bit difficult to get forward. Or a lot of the time, getting forward's okay. You can do that and get forward, but then you're here, it's getting your bottom backward that can be a bit difficult. So options is you can sort of lean forward, lift your bottom and shuffle it back. But for the purpose of today, we're going to be looking at how you can shuffle back in your chair. So getting yourself right back so your bottom's at the back, because it can be quite difficult if you've sort of got yourself here to then get back without having to do another stand up. So ability to move our weight side to side. So we're looking at leaning, lifting and shuffling. So exercises we're going to be doing to work on now. So we're going to start with leaning side to side and trying. So that's our first exercise. The next one, I will go through these each time, is we're going to be looking at lifting our hips. So that's the second exercise. Third one, we're going to be doing a lean, but we're going to try and hitch our hip up on each side. So this is a really good one for working on these oblique muscles, so these tummy muscles at the side here. And then we're going to look at shuffling our bottom forward and back. Okay, we can even put that into a little shuffle forward, forward, back, back in our chair. So that's our 4 exercises. So I'm going to set my stopwatch off for a minute. You're going to sit nice and tall in your chair. We're going to start firstly, just leaning, transferring our weight from one bottom cheek to the other. So are we ready? If you can, try and do this without your hands. If you need to, you can use the arms of the chair, but we're really trying to use our tummy muscles as much as possible. There should be a little bit of weight now. Off we go. Let's lean all our weight to the left bottom cheek. Try and make the right bottom cheek nice and light. And then to the right. So the idea is you're trying to get as much weight off the opposite side as possible. Make this nice and controlled. You might find it more difficult going towards your affected side, but be really mindful of where your weight is. So think about, where's the weight? It's gone over to the left. Can I feel anything through my right? Back over to the right. Feel when you transfer your weight away from one side, it would make it easier to move the opposite side. So side to side. We're just unweighting, de-weighting, or unweighting and weighting, alternate sides. Let's do one more. And then relax. Okay. Next exercise, again, sitting nice and tall. If you can, hands are here, or they can be clasped. You can hold your affected arm in front, or we can have your arms on the arms of the chair. We're going to alternate lifting our legs. Now, if you really can't, if you struggle with lifting your affected side, your assistant could help you. If you can lift even just your heel, you could work on this. Okay, but just do what you can. All right, you're lifting or de-weighting that affected side as much as you can. Okay, we're going to go in 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Lifting, down, really trying to think about keeping that connection through your tummy. So all those muscles we woke up before. So it's a really good tummy exercise. Good one to work on your balance. Now, really think about as well, not letting yourself lean back when you lift your leg. Try and sit as tall as you can. It's quite challenging. I don't mind how high your knee goes. Just think about keeping that control, that posture, while you just gently lift alternate legs. Lovely. Keep alternating. Remember, we're here, we're just lifting up that heel, but really focusing on keeping that tummy working. We're breathing as well. That's obviously very important. And relax there. So it's all about control and use of your tummy and your postural core muscles. Okay, we're on to our hip hitches. So you can have your arms on the arms of the chair, or here if you can for a more advanced option, we're hitching this time. So it's like the first exercise of leaning, but then we're trying to think about lifting up our hips. So lifting up our bottom and down, other way, lift up your bottom and down. So we're trying to almost bring our weight over, then lift our cheek up off the bed if we can. So you're really working these oblique muscles here. Okay, we're doing a little hip hitch. Doesn't have to be high. Again, move within your limits. All right? And try and make each side equal, because you will probably find that one side is a lot easier, but it's really about working from that lateral weight transfer and lifting that bottom up a little bit more if you can. Okay, off we go in 3, 2, 1, we go. And with every exercise, if you ever find that any of them cause you any pain or discomfort, you should stop those ones immediately. Okay, exercises should not be painful. So we're really leaning and we're trying to lift. So if you notice as well, I'm lengthening out through this side of my body, so I'm still transferring my weight. I'm just trying to really get my bottom cheek on the opposite side off the chair if I can. Well, that's my aim, trying to get it off the chair. So to make it nice and light, so for you to then be able to transfer to shuffle it forward or shuffle it back. Side to side and hitch. That's it, let's do one more each way. And then relax. Lovely, okay. Now we're going to try our bottom walks. So putting all of that together. So we're leaning, we're lifting. We might want to lift our leg up a little bit if we can, or de-weight it. You can lift your heel. We're going to try and come forward, lean the other way, forward, then back, back. So make sure you've got your assistant nearby to supervise you, okay? Always make sure you're safely on your chair. All right, so don't want you shuffling so far forward that you're in risk of slipping off forward. So keep yourself safe, have your assistant nearby to supervise you and to assist you as needed. Now, a good way for assistants to assist is that if they get down in front, so I would always make sure that if you're assisting someone that you're really mindful of your posture. So for an assistant, making sure your back's nice and straight. Now you can have your hand on their knee. So if I was facing the person I was trying to assist, and I would be facing and looking at their left, helping their left leg. As they lean over to the right, I could have my hand on the front of their knee, other hand underneath sort of side of thigh, and just help give a little shuffle backwards as they move. So just a way of helping, if you're in front helping, they come over this way and you're one hand on here, one hand here with their permission of course, and then helping them shuffle their bottom back. Same on the other side, you come over, hands here, and then help that side shuffle back. So you're at the front giving that little bit of assistance. So that's a nice way of being able to help someone back in their chair or forward in their chair. Just be really mindful of your posture, make sure that you talk to each other and you're moving at the same time. So teamwork makes the dream work, as they say. Okay, so let's have a go at this exercise. Sitting nice and tall in your chair. Make sure you're sat at the back of your chair. If you're sat further forward, you can start shuffling backwards instead. Off we go. So leaning to the left, right leg is lifting a little bit. We're going to shuffle forward on the right. lean to the right, lift, shuffle forward on the left. Back over to the left, lift that hip on the right, shuffle it back. Lean over to the right, lift, shuffle back on the left. So the idea is we're de-weighting the side we're moving. Lean to the left, lift that leg, shuffle forward. Lean over to the right, lift, shuffle forward. Lean over to the left, lift, shuffle back. Lean over to the right, lift, shuffle back. Lovely. Let's do one more. Over to the left, lift, shuffle forward. Over to the right, lift, shuffle forward. Over to the left, right side, shuffle back. Over to the right, left side, shuffle back. Fantastic. Well done. Okay. So we're going to have one more go through these exercises and then we're going to have a short cool down. So please grab a drink if you need one. Back on to our weight transfer side to side. So if you need a bit more of a rest, then please press pause. I am aware we're running short of time. I'm doing my classic thing of running over. So yeah, if you need some more time, then please press pause. Otherwise, what we're going to do is we're going to get started in about 10 seconds. So starting just firstly with our weight transfer side to side. Ready, steady, off we go. Leaning side to side, feeling that weight transfer from one side to the other. So this is a really, you can feel this is a strong tummy workout, all this moving in your chair. Lovely, guys. Remember, hands can be up here, or they can be on the arms of your chair. Side to side. Excuse my squeaky chair. Move at your own pace as well. So I want you to really think about here, we're just transferring our weight from one hip to the other. So don't worry too much about lifting. Just feel and be mindful of the weight moving side to side. Keeping that gentle engagement in your tummy, keeping that posture nice and tall. One more each side here. And then relax. Okay? Moving straight into our hip flexion, so that's our leg raises, keeping that tummy control. Off we go. So we're just doing a last blast of these exercises before we finish. Again, we're just working on control here. Remember, you could just be lifting up those heels or de-weighting those legs as much as you can. Now, it could be that you're on your affected side, we're just de-weighting the heel, but you could lift on the other side. So do whichever way you can. We're just really working on keeping our posture lovely and tall. Lovely, really good, guys. Nearly there. Remember that the spine is long, tummy gently drawn in. Good, one more. Okay. Next one, we're into that hip hitching, so that's side to side, but we're trying to lift our bottom a little bit this time. Okay, so this one we're just going to do this for 45 seconds, and then we're going to go straight into our bottom walks. So I'm going to set my timer. Okay, off we go. So we're lifting each bottom cheek, trying to lift it up off the chair if you can. You could always lift the opposite heel up as well to help it, but really think about these oblique muscles working, so your hip coming up. We're keeping our balance, so if you can, we're really keeping our chest up. Hands are here, they can be on the arms of the chair. Okay, you ready? We're going to go straight into our bottom walks. Off we go. Lean to the left, right bottom up, shuffle it forwards. Lean to the right, left bottom up, shuffle it forwards. Lean to the left, lift that right cheek up, shuffle it back. Lean to the right, lift that left cheek up, shuffle it back. Remember, you're working at your own pace here. Lean, lift opposite side, shuffle forward. Lean to the right, lift up that left side, shuffle it forward. Lean to the left, hands can be on the arms of your chair if you need. Lift that right side, shuffle it back. Lean to the right, lift up that left side, shuffle it back. Lean to the left, lift the right, shuffle forward. Lean to the right, lift the left, shuffle forward. One more to get yourself back in your chair. Lean to the left, lift the right, shuffle it back. Lean to the right, shuffle the left back. Well done. Oh, great, well done. You should really feel your tummy muscles have been working throughout this, okay? It's a really strong tummy workout. Just shows you can do so many different exercises to work your tummy, including something functional, like shuffling forward and back in your chair, okay? So I hope you found this useful. Now let's just think about stretching out these muscles because we've used them so much. So relax your left hand down by your side. I want you to try and think about lowering and reaching down towards the floor, but really think about lengthening up through the right side of your body. Now, if you can, you could lift this arm up and overhead for an extra stretch, or keep it on your lap and just think about really reaching those ribs away from your pelvis. Feel that nice stretch through the side of your body. Come back up, other side. Right hand down by your side. Lean it down towards the floor. Now think about really lengthening those ribs up away from your hip on the left. So feel that length through your side body. Option to bring that arm overhead if that's an option for you. If you're bringing the arm overhead, you might want to have the other arm on the arm of the chair. So we really think about length and control. We're not falling or collapsing into anything here. We are thinking about actively lengthening up here through our side body. Come back to the middle. Hands on the left knee. Let's turn to look over the left shoulder. Feel that stretch through your back, nice and gentle, so none of this should be forced. Nice big breaths here. Really think about breathing into this right side of your ribs. Good, hands to the left knee, turn to look over the left shoulder. Feel that rotation at your waist, might be a bit of a stretch in your back. Think about breathing into these lower ribs on the left side. Really focus your breath down here. Good, and then one more, let's bring our hands on our lap, let's slide them forward, round that upper back, option to drop your head, chin to chest, feel that stretch over your upper shoulders, breathe into those muscles across your upper back. And sit tall, give yourself a wiggle, give yourself a clap. Well done, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this series and I hope you've enjoyed this class today. Remember, we would always recommend you do at least another 2 classes this week to get the most out of them. So there are loads of other classes on the Different Strokes charity Facebook page and the Different Strokes UK YouTube page. So go and have a look and check them out and see if you can pick some other ones to do later this week. If this is something you're really trying to work on and improve, then I'd recommend repeating this class. You could just repeat it until you feel like you get better at it. So again, use this as a challenge task. If it's something you find really difficult, rate it out of 10, how hard you feel like it is. So 10 being, this is really, really, really difficult, like the hardest it could be. 0 being, this is no effort at all. And then revisit it in future and rate it again. Write it down, compare it. It's a really good way of measuring your progress, is picking challenge tasks, rating them out of 10, and then coming back. So that's a really good way at sort of measuring your progress. So remember, if you've got any comments or feedback, please feel free to leave them below. As well, if there's anything you would like to see in these classes, leave a comment or send a message to the Facebook group. If you've done the class and enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. Take care, guys.